Nibai, if I na kowala I dimfe. I na elotana nka abụ agba nke ikpeazụ ya na nnukwu mmemme a na-eme ebe a. Awesi ka anyị lotala anyị ife ụfọdụ, anyị lotala onwe anyị ife ụfọdụ dị mkpa. Ka anyị lota na o kwesịrị na onye ọbụla nọ ebe a ga-ada eme mkpọtụ n'ụdị ọbụla iji wee megide okwu ndị na-eme na-alụrịta ụka na-ekwu. Ma ọ bụkwa na onye ọbụla ibido kọwalụ mmadụ aka, ma ọ bụkwa na onye ọbụla ibido jagbawa mmadụ, ma ọ bụ jijebe mmadụ, ma ọ bụ mewe mmadụ akaja n'ụdị ọbụla. Biko anyị na-ayọ ka anyị kwanyere onwe anyị ugwu. Unu mana nya na-ekwu na anyị emechara ọfụma, mana anyị kọwara ya ndị nọ n'isi na ife kpatara ya bụ na ọtụtụ abịabere oge anyị ji wee mee ọkwa. Anyị wee na-ayọ ka anyị weluzie tata wee mechie nke nya. Ekwu na osite adịba mma na ọ dịbara gboo. Anyị ma na ndị Anambra bụ ndị na-edebe iwu. Anyị ga-egosipụta ya tata ka ha wee mara na nke nya nwere ka o si mee. Anyị wee na-elotela onwe anyị na onye ọbụla n'ebe a kwesịrị ịgbanyụ ekwentị ya agbanyụ, ma ọ bụkwa na tinye n'ọnọdụ nke ekwupụtaghị ekwupụta ma ọ akọpụtaghị akọpụta. Anyị na-ene anya na onye ọbụla n'ebe a tata ga-aza nnọdụ ma ene, sọsọ anya ka a ga-ada ene ama akụ aka. Ebe a abụrụ ebe ndị otu ndọrọ ndọrọ na-anọ aja ndị nke ha ike. Bikonu, anyị na-ayọ ka udo chia. Daalụnụ.
And welcome to the Women Development Center here in Awka, the Anambra State capital, venue of the final session of the governorship debates organized by the Nigerian Elections Debate Group, NEDG. The NEDG is a coalition of the Nigerian media, professional associations, women, youths, and civil society organizations. The state governorship debates program is endorsed by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, BORN, and the National Orientation Agency, NOA. Now, 23 political parties have been invited to participate in the series of debates. And the NEDG has relied strictly on the approved list of candidates issued by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. You will recall that the debate series began with 2 sessions for the deputy governorship candidates on the 29th of October, and 2 sessions for the governorship debates. The first was on the 31st of October, and today is the final round. Each candidate has been duly briefed about the rules of this debate, and questions on this debate, which the panelists do not know as at yet, are limited to broad areas that are already disclosed to the candidates. Now, the debate is streamed live on the website www.nedg.ng. The audience is encouraged to go on Facebook page www.facebook.com/official NEDG to share their opinions and comments for feedback. Now, at this point in time, let us introduce and get to meet the candidates of the 4 parties that are taking part in this final session. For the APC is Senator Chris Nwabweze Ngige. The candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, is Chief Willie Mwaduabuchi Obiano. And for the PPA, the candidate of the PPA is Ezemo Godwin Chukune. At this point in time, the candidate of the Labour Party, Patrick Ifeanyuba, is yet to arrive. Well, my name is Imonia Marere. I'm the moderator for this session, and I have with me 3 of my colleagues. From my far left,
Femi Adeshino.
I am Nancy Ilo.
and on my right,
Ben Ebuna.
at this, we also have with us the timekeeper, our very able timekeeper, Siri Aidebama. All right, at this point in time, let us invite the chairman of the NEDG, Aremo Taiwo Alimi, for his opening statement.
Good afternoon. From the Women's Development Center, Awka, I welcome you to the continuation of the 2013 governorship and deputy governorship debates in Anambra State, organized by the Nigerian Elections Debates Group, NEDG. My name is Taiwo Alimi. The NEDG election debates, the final today, will feature governorship candidates unfolding their plans for Anambra State and the strategies of implementation before a radio and television live audience. The NEDG is the largest, most credible, and most experienced debates group in Nigeria and Africa, with our activities attracting the attention of the international community. The NEDG is non-partisan, non-political, and independent, established to ensure that election debates become a permanent component of Nigeria's democracy and culture. The responses NEDG has been receiving from citizens of Anambra State at home and abroad have been overwhelming and inspiring since the commencement of the debates on Tuesday, 29th October 2013. NEDG debates are issue-based and issue-driven, not on persons, not religion, not ethnicity, and the debates are designed at setting public agenda by the candidates which may form the basis of policy formulation and direction of government. And the audience is also enjoined to be quiet, just watch and listen. Once again, I welcome you to the final round of the NEDG governorship debates in Anambra State. I now proceed to hand over the envelopes containing the questions to the moderator and panelists, which they will be seeing for the first time. Thank you, and most sincerely.
Thank you very much. Before we proceed, let us acknowledge the arrival of the candidate of the Labour Party, Dr. Patrick Ifeanyi Ubah. And for the sake of emphasis, we'd like to mention here that each candidate in this final session is allowed 3 minutes for his opening statement. Now, each candidate also has 3 minutes to answer a question and 2 minutes for each of the rebuttals that will follow that question. And each candidate also has 2 minutes for his closing statements or remarks. We proceed now with the debate, and
everybody comes and have a plain sheet. And you don't need to have documents.
no.
But I
Yes.
think some of my colleagues have a lot of documents.
Well, don't worry about that.
No,
We will take control of that.
Just want to know.
We will take control of that. Be rest assured, no candidate is allowed to read from a prepared text, except, of course, from notes that are taken in the course of.
You can write
the
your note, but not to come in with notes.
That's exactly what we're saying. No person is allowed to
I see
read
notes,
from a
yeah.
prepared text.
I
Don't
see
worry,
notes,
we will take,
There's a lot of notes, sir.
please, we will,
There's a lot of notes, sir.
we will take,
We want to talk to Anambra people from our heart. From
yes,
what we know.
that is what will happen. Please, be rest assured.
Okay.
We begin the debate now, and I'm going to ask the first question, which is the traditional way of starting the debate since we started. We want the candidates to briefly introduce themselves and tell us why each one of them wants to rule Anambra State. And we begin with the candidate of the APC, Dr. Chris Ngige.
Yeah, good evening, the good people of Anambra State, my panelists. I'm here again today to let Anambra people know why I want to come back on a second missionary journey. It is a second missionary journey because a lot of things I left, the foundation I left when I exited in 2006 March, have been uprooted and destroyed. People ask me again, like I said yesterday, why do you want to come back? And I say, my blueprint is still there, untouched. The aspect of my blueprint that I accomplished was about 23%. Present-day government, steady 8 years, they've only done about 7% of it. Some total 30%. 70% is still there, and it's left for me to come back and execute them. The English adage says, if you want anything done well, you do it yourself. That is why. If Obi will not do the blueprint I left for him on the table with a handing over note, with 12.8 billion in the coffers of Anambra State government at the exit of my administration, I want to come back and complete them. Security of lives and property. I talked about that. I talked about that yesterday. I will never get tired of talking about it because it's the cardinal thing, it's the first thing that the government owes our people. I have to expatiate because if you say you will give security, have you ever done it before? That's one question. I did it before. That's my answer. I did it before in 2003 because when I came here, Anambra people's lives were not secured. There was a vigilante service here, untrained, I trained them. I synchronized them with Nigerian police. I provided security equipment of all types, repeater stations, radio stations, walkie-talkies, vehicles, and what have you. We now have even more current gadgets, which includes security equipment that take photographs at points. You install them at the critical points. You wire your state. You wire your state. We have bomb detectors. We can put them at the entry points of Anambra State. Money, yes, it is money. But we have to spend money to secure your people. And I'm ready to do that. Talk in terms of money, because the question will be, where do you get the money from? When I came here in 2003, the internally generated revenue was 50 million. I raised it to 450 million before I left. 500 million. It was hovering up in that region before I left. Today, that same target is what Anambra State government is doing. So what's going on?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Candidate of the APGA.
Thank you.
Your opening statement.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Willie Obiano. I'm running because I want to leverage my 25 years experience as a renowned chartered accountant, my experience as a world-class banker, with 9 years as number 2 man for a world-class bank, an expert in managing money, people, and resources, to bring to bear, to take our state to the next level, because the current administration has done so well in laying the foundations. That next level we are going to attack under agriculture, oil and gas, trade and commerce, and industrialization. And at the back of those 4 pillars, we have the enablers. The enablers will continue to energize because they will help us achieve those 4 core areas, which are in education, in health, in security, in infrastructure, in tourism, in the women, in healthcare, in children, in the youths. We have 14 items that we have put a lot of energy into researching to be able to support the enablers. Back to the enablers. Under agriculture, we intend to mechanize agriculture in the food business of Anambra, basically in Orumba North and South, Ayamelum, Anambra East and West, Obaru, Achala, and the environ. Those areas, when you mechanize agriculture, you increase the food production, and industries natural to those areas will begin to come. Processing, packaging, manufacturing, job all the way, and revenue for the state. Similarly, in oil and gas, we need to develop that area. The refinery there has capacity for 55 barrels per day refining, and that will enable us to produce enough crude. And of course, there will be industries, oil and gas industries that will come on there. Again, that's job, revenue. Industrialization, we are going to get organized in our industrialization. Industry clusters will be there, where certain industries will be cited based on corporate advantage they have with respect to the industries they are targeting. Of course, trade and commerce. We have to organize our market, reorganize our market to enable us sell the things that we are talking about now, so that West African countries, neighboring countries, states, and what have you, can come to Anambra and partake in the beauty that we have. What will happen after all this? Job, revenue, increase in GDP for Anambra State, social security, peace and stability. Everybody will be happy during the time of our administration. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Candidate of the Labour Party, your opening statement.
Thank you all. The most important thing is for politicians to be sincere with what they say. Our people has been cheated so long in politics. And that is why somebody like Ifeanyi Ubah is coming in to see how I can come and redeem and then wipe away the tears of our people. The most important thing for us to do if we get into governance is to conduct local government election within 90 days. We want people to be closer to the government, because if people are not closer to the government, then there is nothing we are talking about. And no one is addressing the issue of local government election. And because they don't understand what it means to generate money, and they want to keep that money in order to start running, we can't continue to run Anambra State like if it's a tyranny kind of state. So local government election must be conducted with anybody that is here must confirm to Anambra people that he must conduct local government election within 90 days. So that if there's a problem, you will go to the local government. Today, nobody knows. The House of Assembly have asked the current government to send the audited account of Anambra State, including local government election, since 2011, 2012. They could only submit 2011 after 60 days. Till date, in 2012 has not been. No one has seen an account of Anambra State of 2012. And you can't continue to say you're transparent. You can't continue to say you manage human beings. This is a state where the former deputy governor was kidnapped, ransom paid, and he was killed. The head of the traditional ruler of Ihembos was kidnapped, ransom paid, was killed. The chairman of Ohaneze, Lagos and Abuja, Chief John Nzewi, Sir John Nzewi, was kidnapped, ransom paid, and he was killed. The state of insecurity. Look at our youth. You wake up every day, you see 40 youths in the river. Even the women has been shut off from the state of affairs. No one can even claim that son, that boy, that man is his son. So that is the state of Anambra State. So we talk about power. You cannot achieve anything in Anambra State without also thinking about power. And so many people are talking about oil and gas. I wish you would give me opportunity to have one-on-one with them so that they can even explain people what they know. It's not about talking, it's about acting. It's about doing things. It's about talking things you know about. Not just too much grammar. Then the last one is human capital development. Human capital development, to empower our youth, to create industries, to create facilities that can give Anambra State a state leaf again. Look into our traders. They are not doing well. All our businessmen have relocated back to Lagos, and some have also fled the country because of Anambra. So we need to give them value. We need to uplift their business and move them from being traders to industrialists. Our vision is to look at Nigeria and to dominate Nigeria economically. That is it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Candidate of the PPA.
Yeah, good afternoon, Anambrarians, or good evening, rather. My name is Godwin Chukunenye Zemo. I'm from Umuchi, Nagwata local government. My reason for coming out to the governor of Anambra State or to lead the people is what I've noticed. I grew up here as a small boy during the Civil War. I saw it all. The war was over. I came up, had my primary school, my secondary school all in the village in Anambra State here. I eventually started working for myself and eventually left the shores of Nigeria. I was in the UK for about 20 years now, and what I had here I thought was so good. I've been out there, I found out that there is nothing working here. That is from where the desire to come on to assist the people who have been marginalized, who have been cheated by their own for a very long time. That is from where it started. And I couldn't control it. That is why I'm here today. I want to make it very clear here that there are certain issues, there are certain points that are so important that must be addressed first before the other one. All the people who have been in the corridor of power or that have looked after us in the last 22 years since the inception of this state have actually neglected the major area, the main thing that need to be addressed. The main thing that need to be addressed is power. Power, 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 power. Whatever you want to do on the whole wide world, you need power first. If you want to mechanize agriculture, you need power. If you do not have power, you cannot store, you cannot process, you cannot even mechanize. It will be a waste of time, waste of resources. You can't just say it when you do not have the capacity to do it. So without power also, you cannot touch security. You can't do anything there, neither transportation, nor even education, nor even our health system. Power is required in virtually everything we need. I consider it so important that it's my priority area. That is not to say that I will abandon other areas. They will go simultaneously, but I will give it thorough attention. I will generate power because from the situation right now, state governments, individuals, corporate organizations are free to do that. I will invest on agriculture at the same time. That is the second area to go, and I have to go good there because that's the only way and where job will be created. Just like I will do in the power. Once the power is on, dead industries, moribund industries, brand new ones, they will all come on and generate all work, and there will be work, 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 work. Our children will be engaged. They will be engaged in a lucrative jobs here and there. And then we'll be taken away from our streets. Then our life, we will live a better life.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Femi Adesina has the next question.
Yes, government all over the world has a constitutional responsibility to protect lives and property. Anambra State, like others, is facing security challenges. How will you end the citizens' agony over the security challenges if you become the governor?
Well, that question begins with the APGA candidate.
Well, I will attack security on two prongs. First, on employment. Job, job, job. I've talked about the 4 pillars: agriculture and oil and gas, trade and commerce, industrialization will create jobs, jobs, jobs. Those jobs created will eliminate the quantum of our youths that ordinarily should be doing something, but they didn't have the opportunity. The remainder that is left, which will be about, the remainder that is left will be very policeable and manageable. We are going to continue what this administration has started, liaising, equipping the police and the vigilante, giving them a lot of ammunition, trucks to ferry them, walkie-talkie and what have you. That's relevant. This rapid response team is relevant. The Navy, the Army, we appropriate checkpoints and online call situations where any emergency they can be reached, and those people will help to stem those tides immediately. We will also, under security, we will also ensure that we continue to pay the vigilante people, retrain them, and more importantly, like I said earlier, onyori bu nwanne mmadụ and onyori bibe mmadụ. So we also owe our people a duty to ensure that we inform the police about the kind of people that are living around us. Because all agencies, police, anything you want, they work with information. We should also be able to give those kinds of information. We should ensure that we show example of people that are caught doing what is against the law legally, So the issue of security will be attacked from the point of view of jobs. That will eliminate a quantum of people. The people that are left, vocational training schools will be made available, and it will be free. After that training, they will be given some grants to go set up businesses. I can assure you that this will reduce the quantum of people that would like to go and steal, And again, there will be recreational activities, because an idle mind, they say, is a devil's workshop. We are going to revive soccer, the way Anambrarians know soccer, and that will really engage the youth in a lot of things that they are doing, and a lot more. Let's make this point. In Anambra State, in the last 4 years, there has not been any bank armed robbery attack. It's on record. It is on record. The other point is, I don't want to make this case, but it's important to make it. Anambra State is not in any manner close to some other states in terms of kidnap. But we want to stem it during our time.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Candidate of the Labour Party.
Well, the question is about insecurity in Anambra State. The most important thing we need to do in Anambra State is to network Anambra State by getting the House of Assemblies to promote laws that will enable us to discuss with telecommunications owners in Anambra State. It's quite unfortunate that telephone companies are making approximately above 10 billion naira, above 15 billion naira every month from Anambra State, while the state is receiving a mere 3 billion. So what we need to do is to promote a law that will govern Anambra State and get them involved into what we do, or, like the Act of War says, if we are equal, we negotiate. If we are stronger, we oppress. If we are weaker, we retreat. So the most important thing in this phase is, why will you people be making 15 billion and you are not thinking about insecurity in Anambra State? And none of you is here. You took our lands, we paid 200,000 naira, 10 years, 2 million naira. You take all the sites. You don't even think about the radiations to our families and our people. There's a lot of things. We need to go back, and I think it's a prototype. I'm telling my strategy to other states. It's a prototype that we will use, not for telecommunications owners to be declaring dividends of billions and billions, and this money is exported to South Africa. But they need to come before us. And I say so. I met the governor in our debate in Tampa, Florida, 2 weeks ago. He said there's 4.6 million telephone users in Anambra State. And averagely, it's 500 naira. But even if we have to take it to 100, if you put 100 naira per telephone user in Anambra State, by 4 million telephone users, it's 400 million naira a day. It's 12 billion naira a month. So if you times it by 5, you can even get to 50 billion. That is money leaving Anambra State to South Africa and the rest of the world. We need to get them to come and discuss with us. In Lagos State, I was the first oil and gas company that donated 20 million to Lagos State Police Trust Fund in 2009. You can, oh, sorry.
Thank you. Your time is up. Candidate of the PPA.
Thank you. Security in Anambra State, in my administration, I will tackle it 2 steps to tackle them. First step is temporary. Second step is more permanent. I will discuss the permanent one. The permanent one is I will generate power. I will resuscitate all the industries. They will start working. They will generate work. The new ones will come. They will generate work. I will get our youth, the young graduates, engaged. They are off the street. I will also work on my agriculture, establish a farm settlement towards the north, towards east, west, Anambra East, Anambra West, Ayamelum, and so on and so forth. I've promised, I've said also, I'll do a bridge across the Anambra River to give me that land that is between us and Kogi, where this farming will happen. That is where I would develop a little farm settlement where I will put all the facilities to encourage our young men to go and reside and have life too. Then they will walk instead of walking around our streets. That will generate work. Now, with these two, for example, I have taken the chunk of the population that is looking for work. It's a permanent solution. My temporary solution will be on providing our, what do you call them, the vigilante groups, the police, the army, whoever they are, the little they need to have to be able to do this. I know very well, I don't need to spend a lot on them. They are all federal parastatals. I don't need to waste the money with which I will work for the children of Anambra State on them. But I will provide the little they need. Every individual in Anambra State will be part of the security. We will get into intelligent gathering by all of Anambrans, you and me. If you see anything that is going wrong, you call. I will get devoted areas, a devoted system where people will call in and get problems solved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Candidate of the APC.
Yeah, Mr. Moderator, distinguished audience, I believe in the maxim that prevention is better than cure. But all the same, as a medical doctor, if somebody is brought to you sick, you cure first and then prevent later. In Anambra State today, I have told you what I want to do curatively. But let me go into the prevention. The school system in Anambra State is something I planned to change when I was here. As a matter of fact, I had 20 secondary technical schools as pilot schools before I left. What are they supposed to do? We are supposed to train our children. Apart from studying history, mathematics, English, they will have to learn carpentry, painting, tailoring, welding, and vocational work, so that we train their hands for them to employ themselves if they graduate and they don't have any white-collar job to do. So I'm going to get back and see that that system I entrenched before is brought back, and all secondary schools in Anambra State on a graduate phase will be secondary technical. People come out, if they don't go to university, they employ themselves in another trade. Even in Ghana, from the president down to the last senator to the last assemblyman has a trade, carpentry or tailoring, and so you don't see crime over there. You go there and sleep, and everybody is earning something. Secondly, I want to have my agricultural scheme for graduates who cannot be employed. Get them into the farm settlements, build hostel for them, give them fertilizer, give them motorized equipment, give them soft loan, give them the tract of land, and whatever product they get, we buy back as government. And on top, give them some stipend. We will do that, and if you get a white-collar job, you can exit, another person takes your place. We'll expand it. Thirdly, preventively, we have to put electricity here, because electricity is the mother of all industries.
Thank you very much. Nancy, you have the next question.
Okay, since we're still on security, and the question goes to the candidates of the Labour Party. A lot of reports in the news over some months or years now about the clamor for state police. If you become the governor of Anambra State, if you've been elected, would you support the clamor for state police, bearing in mind that Anambra State is also facing a lot of security challenges?
Unless we are talking about disintegration from Nigeria, I don't think there's need for state police. The most important thing is human management what you are going to give to your people. The key thing in Anambra State is fund to generate money. If Anambra people can generate 15 billion every month, which I can do in 6 months, if we can generate 15 billion, I can tell you, I can create 3 businesses for government and generate 15 billion, 3 times above what they are getting from federal government. We can sit back and think on how we can do things in Anambra State. What we are going to promote is what we call community surveillance, not community policing. Because that policing, it gets to people's mind as if they are another police. So let us allow the Nigerian police to remain entity as the custodians of security in Nigeria. But what we have to do is train our children, give them jobs to do, and then also develop our power. And I heard somebody saying about power. If you give me opportunity, I need to ask some questions to know how many megawatts do we require in Anambra State? How do we intend to bind those power? Because it's not about somebody talking about oil and gas, somebody talking about power. We need to ask, and then you understand the ingredients, the content of what you are talking about. And I believe that is why we are in this forum, so that people can have opportunity to at least give Anambrians a hint of what they want to do in our state. I think that is what I want to say.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Candidate of the PPA.
Thank you so much, moderator. Well, if you ask me if I will advocate for state police, is that the question?
Yes.
Obviously not. What we need to do in this area is to decentralize the management of police so that the state governments will have a little control over the place. If it's centered up there, it is being used, to sort of destabilize various state governments, and that is not right. If we decentralize it, it will give the state governors or the state administrators opportunity of controlling this police and making sure they work to the benefit of the entire state, not allowing just the center to use it against anybody. Why I'm saying this is that we are one Nigeria and we will ever remain one Nigeria. Obviously, that is what I have about place. I don't want to go further. Thank you so much.
Candidate of the APC.
Well, on the issue of state police, one thing is clear today. The state governments of the Federation, the various state governments of the Federation, devote at least 30% of their budget managing police formations in their respective states. And for me, I'm a member of the Police Service Committee of the Senate. So we appropriate funds for the Nigerian police. 80% of the money appropriated to the Nigerian police goes on recurrent expenditure. The answer, or what it shows, is that the federal government, with the resources at our hand now, cannot manage the Nigerian police as presently constituted. So the real thing to be done is for total decentralization. And when my people talk about decentralization, they shy away now from asking the state governments to take over. I am for state governments to take over their police formation. I'm also for local government administrations that are democratically elected by the people to take over police formations and fund them. We cannot run away from the obvious. Governors have been named in the Constitution as chief security officers of their states. Same goes for local government administrators, mutatis mutandis. So why do you run away? You play the ostrich. You put your head under the sand, and yet your back is out. The federal government should, as a matter of urgency, decentralize the Nigerian police now, so that we can have effective administration at the lower levels. As it is now in Abuja, it's a non-topus, hydra-headed, big, too big, gargantuan, and it is unmanageable. That is the answer. That is the simple truth. So, state police count me in, local government police count me in, neighborhood police even count me in. Overseas, universities have their own police. So there is nothing wrong with the word police, as my labor partner will want you to...
Thank you very much.
Thank you. About it. Okay, the candidates of APGA.
Well, my view is that the Nigerian police, as constituted, is okay. I would not recommend state police for a very obvious reason, and the manipulation and what have you that will go with it. What is important is to equip these police people, retrain them where necessary, give them relevant equipment, very important. And for us all as Nigerians, support them with information. No matter how you equip police, whether you make them local or federal or what have you, if you don't have information, if they're not well equipped, they will not work. So I do not support state police. I will like the arrangements as is. The police properly equipped, properly trained, and we, all of us, non-police, supporting the police to help protect us. Secondly, the vigilante, that's the new introduction by Anambra State, among other states. That vigilante element, because they are indigenous of those areas, they will know who these thieves are. Those guys don't fall from heaven. They know where they live. So they will be able to provide relevant information if properly equipped and what have you. It's important for some of our colleagues here to note that this is a very serious business. The business we are here are not the business for people with school cert and what have you. They have to concentrate on what is key. We are here for a very serious business, and not people sitting down and talking anyhow. This is not for bravado. This is Anambra people. We are telling them what we are going to do for them. We are not trying to waste their time. So it's important that we all know that what we are doing is important, and that you can see the difference.
Thank you very much. Before we proceed, let me remind the candidates of the content of the rules that were given to you prior to this time. One of which is that no personal attacks, no direct attacks on candidates, and indeed, the language of the debate must be decent. Please take note. The next question comes from Mr. Ben Ebuna.
Thank you, Moderator. I'm going to the issue of true federalism and national dialogue because I think it's related to the issue of state police that we've just taken. Now, these days we hear all the time we talk about regional integration, true federalism, and national dialogue. What role do you see for Anambra State among the southeast geopolitical zones? I mean, the southeast geopolitical zone covering the states in that region. What role will Anambra State be playing in this area?
Candidate of PPA.
Can you come again with that question, please?
Yes. What role would you see for Anambra State among states in this southeast zone in the areas of regional integration, true federalism, and national dialogue?
Thank you. The role the Anambra State as a state government should take will be that of assisting the entire Southeast. At the end of the day, we are the #1 state in this particular region. We have to assist by accommodating everyone, sharing the information we have, sharing our know-how, because know-how, we know that Anambra State is endowed with very strong human resources who have great ideas. These ideas has to translate into getting others to work together with us. We are not going to work in isolation. We work together with them, make them to feel that we love them. They are part of us, not, taking ourselves away from them. If you look at what has been happening since after the Civil War, you know that the Southeast seem, not to be coming together as a group anymore. They used to be part of Eastern region. Anambra State has got a strong role to play here. If I am the governor, I'll make them to understand that this is the way it worked and they worked out good before. I will ensure that whatever we can afford to put into their system, which they don't know how to do, we will do it and do it good for them. Then we'll make them, when they are with us, they will feel at home too, not just ourselves. And for the federalism, as you've just said, you know very well that it will pay it will pay the entire Nigerians if we actually practice true federalism. Because certain problems which we encounter today or which we're experiencing today wouldn't come up at all. Because of we are doing it halfway there, halfway there. We are neither in true federalism or we are on the other one. We are just trying it whichever way. I will strongly support, I will strongly move, try to convince whoever that is involved in whichever capacity to understand the reason why we must have to practice true federalism here. That is the only way we can move and thrive together. We are imitating Americans because of what they practice true federalism. But we imitate them halfway, we are not going to finish all of them up. It's not going to help. Half education, they said, is a disease. So if we want to take it from them, we take it fully. It will help the nation. And then everybody will have an opportunity and feel good. And then life will move for all of us as people with one problem. We are brothers and must have to work together as a nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Candidate of the APC.
Mr. Moderator, the problem of Nigeria today is that the leaders in Nigeria do not know what they are practicing. Whether it's true federalism, or whether it's a presidential system or parliamentary system. Today, what we are doing is a hybrid of all systems. True federalism connotes that states become their own sovereign. True federalism promotes excellence. It promotes development at your own pace. It promotes competition. But today, everybody is circumscribed into one bag. You must wait for me to catch up with you. My brother is not here, so why is your brother going to be there? That's not true federalism. True federalism should recognize merit and engender competition. When I was governor here in 2003, 2006, at a point I became chairman of Southeast Governors Forum. Anambra State is the home of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Professor Kenneth Dike, Odumegwu Ojukwu, Salowe Mbanefo. It is a head state among the Igbo nation. And as governor, you must try to show it. Therefore, as governor, chairman Southeast Governors Forum, I did certain things that were thought to be impossible before I became governor. For example, pensioners were not paid anything good. They were getting paltry pay. I moved pensioners first state to pay 142% rise in pension. If you were getting 10,000, I paid you 24,000. Before I came, most states in the southeast, none was doing asphalt roads. It was surface dressing road. When I started, there was protests from my brother governors. How do you think you can sustain this? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? I said, no problem. Let us do regional integration. And we drew out the plan. I took roads to their borders.
Thank you very much. Candidate of APGA.
As all of us know, Dean Ikemba Odumegwu Ojukwu of blessed memory has been known to fight for the cause of the Igbo man. His party is APGA. And therefore, APGA is our party. And this is the only party that can lead our people to the promised land in trying to negotiate our place. We have been marginalized as an entity. We need more states. We need more local government. That's how things are shared over there. My colleagues that are on my left and right and far left, their platforms cannot support what I'm saying. It is only APGA platform that can go there and win the fight for the buying. And if we get it right, Ndibo, I need win go. Let's even say it. Kedu ka onye na-azọ na ebe na-abụrụ pati anyị ka ndị bi etu anụ ma ebe na-ekwu ga-esi wee jee wee zụtara anyị ife elue ndị ọ na-achị ndị tinyeli ya n'ife ọ jebe fakelu nke anyị fe kenyelufa ọ ebe anyị chọ ndekwanụ ndị akụnuchua n'oge o.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, please. Hello. Hello, please. Audience, please. Audience, please. Audience, please. We must remind you of the rules. Audience. Well, we will continue when you have satisfied yourselves. You are breaking the rules again, audience. Please. And let me also remind the candidates that we are addressing Nigerians, Anambrans who are everywhere around the world, and by implication, we are also talking to other Nigerians. So we must try and communicate in the general language that other Nigerians can understand. For instance, I did not understand a word of the last thing you said. So you did not.
I'm addressing Anambra and everybody.
Yes,
so there are
please.
some of my people that don't understand English.
It's all right. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Bendigbuna, you have okay. The Labour Party candidate, please.
Thank you, sir. I think what the question surrounds anybody that is in this table or in this role must understand the current trend of events in Nigeria. The current trend of events in Nigeria is about national dialogue. I think that is where anybody trying to come into governance of Anambra State must key into. We're not talking about true federalism or whatever. When we get to national dialogue, we select the core people, the real people, not when we have nominated the Minister of Aviation that will not think about putting airport in Anambra State, or select another woman, 2 women ministers, and we've lost everything. We can't have we don't have people representing us in Senate because they are not interested in Senate job. They want to come back to government. What we want to do in Anambra State, is to ask questions in national dialogue. Why must a certain state in Nigeria be producing the managing director of NPA for close to 25, 30 years? Why must a certain clique of people be producing Minister of Agriculture? Why must a certain clique of people be producing cement for the entire development of Nigeria? Why must we, what the Igbos that are Anambrans that are known for trade, what is our share? How many waivers have we been keen into? How many waivers did they give to Anambra people? That is what we need to take to national dialogue, to ask of the presence of Anambra State in governance. What is our share? I'm not talking about Ojukwu, because when Ojukwu died, I was there with the governor of Imo State, governor of Anambra State, Emeka Nyoku, the APGA National Chairman. I was the first person that performed the kola. Ojukwu is my brother. So you cannot be better Catholic than the Pope. People should stop talking about Ojukwu. Thank you.
Thank you, please.
Ojukwu is Ifa brother.
Please.
Ojukwu is Ifa. So they shouldn't bring Ojukwu into this frame, because I don't need Ojukwu when I need people's vote. Ojukwu is Ifa Yoruba brother from Newi, and I have that right. Nobody can challenge that here. He's my brother. I was the one that performed Kola when he died. I was the one that was in his tomb when he was buried.
Thank you. Please let me remind the candidates once more. Please refrain from direct personal attacks. Please, as moderator, I reserve the right to stop you on your tracks if you make any direct attacks on any other candidate. Please. Mr. Bendigbuna, you have a follow-up question?
Yes.
And that's beginning with the candidate of the APC.
Yeah, my follow-up question actually is on this issue of...
Audience, please.
Are you
Audience, please.
Are you listening to me? Yes. We had talked about state police, and we talked about true federalism. And my question is, the state police and true federalism, what is the difference? If we are approaching true federalism, why not have state police? Thank you.
Candidate of the APC.
Well, moderator, if you listen well to my answer, I said I'm for state police. And I said I'm for true federalism, whereby the governor in Edo, the governor in Ebonyi, the governor in Ekiti, they are developing their states. They are not rushing to Abuja to go and look for federal allocation. They generate their own funds and use them for their people. So, the same way, if you want to secure them, you must have the apparatus, the instrument with which you can secure your people, as enshrined in Chapter 2, Section 14 of the Nigerian Constitution, that the government has to secure our citizens and our property. So the answer is clear. I don't talk about Ojukwu or no Ojukwu. I just mentioned Ojukwu in passing that he comes from this state. So that this state is a prime state in Igbo land. So this is it, and the job of a senator and that of a governor are not same. One is legislative, one is executive. They are not. They're just you match two of them to run government. But so for me, I don't know how to import dual-purpose kerosene. I don't know how to get premium motor spirit. I don't know how to do import duty waiver. I don't know how to do fuel subsidy and the rest of it. But I know administration. I have managerial skill. They don't have it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Candidates, please stick to the issues. Candidates,
and above all,
please
I've been governor here before. So everything is in situ. I won't learn governance. I won't do apprenticeship. They will do 4 years apprenticeship when they come.
Thank you very much. Candidates, please stick to the issues. Stick to the issues. And audience, please. Audience, please. All right, candidate of APGA. Please.
The moderator, the way he framed the question, presupposes that true federalism equates having a state police. I beg to disagree with him. It is a myriad of functions, activities, socio-cultural things. You know, you have to do things in line with the socio-cultural nature of your environment. So with that put in place, I will not support a state police at this point of our development, purely because of the diversity of our people, even within states of the Federation. That can be abused, and that could lead to disintegration and what have you. What we need is to everybody to support, like the state governments have been doing. They've been supporting the police, not only Anambra, everywhere. They've been giving the police equipment. Even the industry set up in the states have been supporting the police. There's nothing wrong in supporting the police, you know. And also, there's nothing wrong in equipping our vigilante, retraining the police, getting them to do so, you know. You know, we are not mature at this point to have state police. I say it with all authority and with all sense of respect, you know. It's important for our people to know, too, that people claim to have administrative ability, you know, but that administrative ability has been very myopic, concentrated on certain areas.
Candidate of APGA, I'm sorry, I will have to stop you.
Okay.
I will have to stop you, and I will do so to any candidate. I'm in charge here, please. Thank you. Candidate of Labour Party.
Well, it's quite unfortunate that Nigerians doesn't appreciate what we have. When you go internationally, you can see how Nigerian police are respected when they go to ECOMOG, all their missions outside Nigeria. It's just that people are agitating for them to have state police so they can monopolize police and use it to rig elections. That is the only question here. Let us support our police. Let us revive and give orientation to our youths. Let us develop businesses in our states. Let us be in competition with different states. Anybody that wants to have his own police, let these governors generate 6-7 times above what we are receiving from Federation. You will see they can't do anything because some of them are very lazy. And I say it with all sense of humility. They wait for federal allocation. So what we need to do is not to think about police of true federalism. What we need to do is to allow the status quo to remain. Let us go back home, have think-home philosophy, and then see how we can generate work in our place. It's quite unfortunate that people that came through the back door and are now having opportunity to say that they have governed. But have they forgotten that they came to the back door?
Labour Party candidates.
Thank you, sir.
I'm stopping you there because you are, again, please. I want to appeal, please. I want to appeal to the candidates. Please, each of you standing here today is a potential governor. And you must be very gubernatorial in
But
your conduct
how do you know
and
we are
in your
referring to
language.
somebody?
Please.
How do you know we are referring to somebody, sir?
No, you are all potential governors. And
sir.
you must be gubernatorial in your
But
language.
it's a fact,
and
it's
in
a
your,
fact, sir.
Please. Candidate of PPA.
Thank you very much, moderator. I will still insist that we need to have true federalism. And I still insist that we decentralize police. When we decentralize police, the budget for police, which is made up there, will be shared among the states so that they will use it to make sure that the police are paid well, are trained properly, they are taken through courses so that we change their value system, because that is where the problem lies here. The value system is not for them to come and just protect the state, but to give a fair treatment to every Nigerian they find within their state. If we get a policeman, if we pay them well and reorientate them and equip them, they are fulfilled. They can own their own house. They can own their own cars. That is the way it is done out there. I mean, there's nothing you can give them that will entice them to do something that is not good to a fellow human being or a fellow black man for that matter. I've lived in an area where I stand out because of my color. A successful man where my color stand out. I know the trouble I go through, and I know what it means if I am leading my people. I know what to do to make everybody understand that we are people with one common problem. And if we have one common problem, we can sort it together and live together in harmony. Then life will be good for everybody. And this is the way I will handle this. Let me not take further time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The next question is for the candidate of APGA. Now, some people have argued that the best period of Nigeria's economic growth was during the 5-year ruling plans, 5-year development plans, or what was called then as the development ruling plans. Now, if you are elected governor of Anambra State, what model of a development plan would you adopt?
Thank you. That is why APGA government is talking about continuity. When this government came into being, there was Anambra State was virtually non-existent in terms of the key things that make a state. It is this administration of the present governor that put life into the various things that help to build a state. So, and they did it in a very simple manner. They took the Millennium Goals and built the Anambra Integrated Development Strategy around the Millennium Goals. And purely what is Millennium, the annex, is planning, executing, supervising, with a view to ensuring that, because if you don't plan, you're planning to fail. You know, so those kind of structures are in place. That's why they've done very well. Because planlessness was what happened before this administration took over. And because of myopic views, you know, things were domiciled where they shouldn't, things that were moved strategically were moved to people's hometowns with a view to actualizing things. You know, that's not how administration is done. In our own time, I'm going to continue with ensuring that everything is properly planned. You know, we have 10-year development plan. We have 5-year development plan, you know, short-term, long-term, medium-term, you know, and, short-term, medium-term, long-term. All those plans are there, clearly. What you need to achieve, medium one, what you need to achieve, and that's exactly how this administration has run. If you benchmark what they've done, they've scored excellence in the area of health, in the area of education, despite the fact that the people that were there before who could have known better as doctors couldn't do anything. The state of our health was in total disarray. It is this administration that provided the teaching hospital that will enable our people graduate while a doctor was running on shop. It didn't occur to them to open a teaching hospital. And that made the medical doctors graduate 9 years after instead of their 7 months. That's lack of foresight. That is planlessness. That is not what we are talking about. What we are talking about is proper planning. Look at my background. As a renowned chartered accountant, a world-class banker. You don't do things in the banking industry without plan. Please, what I'm asking you guys is to trust me. I will plan and ensure that these things are properly executed and give you accountability as to how they are done. That is what is required. Not rhetoric and politicking that doesn't move our state anywhere. You need professionals, competent people that have been tested in their various fields, that are world-renowned, both in their immediate career.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me appeal once more to candidates, so please respect each other in the use of language. Please, we need that. Candidate of Labour Party.
I think it's just about being sincere to our people. If not only Anambra State, if Nigeria can come in to be sincere to our people, I think we should all go into this national dialogue and then adopt one single tenure of 4 years for every governor. It means that you must know from day 1 to year 4 what is ahead of you, and then you leave it. You don't need to be in government of continuity or in government of you want to elongate governance. It gives room for a lot of things. It gives room for lapses in terms of accountability and transparency. And then whenever you promote competition, you bring out the best in everybody. I think what we need to do at this present time is to adopt a single tenure of 4 years for every governor in Nigeria. And by so doing, everybody will sit up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Candidate of PPA.
Please, could you go through the question again for me?
The question is, what developmental model will you adopt for Anambra State if you are elected governor?
Well,
That was the question.
thank you very much, moderator. The developmental model I will adopt is the one that will ensure that Anambra State, as a state, will lay a sound foundation from where we will build. At the moment, there's nothing in place. I'm not here to attack anybody, but I have to be sincere to you. There is nothing in place. We are going around the periphery of our problem. We need to hit the nail by the head if we are really sincere with ourselves. I will develop my program, will run. It's not just going to end 4 years, 5 years, 8 years. I will do my program in such a way that I will encourage somebody from my party or somebody who is any other Anambrans that could come into the party and be part of it, so that I will sort of groom him when I'm about to leave, so that he will know how to come on and take up the same developmental project I've put in place. There will be proper continuity. It's not going to be anybody coming from anywhere to take it. So that we will be there, build it, and make sure that the state keeps building on what it has until we get to that promised land. This is the way I will go. And it hasn't got a particular life. And because we will do well in government, the following administration after mine will be from my party, because we've done well. We don't need to dash anybody anything. Because of the job we've done, they will see that we've done well, and they will re-elect us because we are doing well. That is how it is done out there. It is not a matter of sharing, bags of rice. It's not meant for any particular person here or giving whatever. I mean, this is not real good.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Candidate of APC.
The development plan for any nation or state is what will be close to the heart of any administrator in that state or nation. The rolling plans are plans that you do on a long-term basis for you to know and have an idea of where you're going in, say, 3 years or 4 years. When I was in Anambra State here, I had a 3-year rolling plan, even though it's not official government policy, because I was doing annual budget and doing budget implementation annually. I had that as my guide. What this presupposes is that in my annual budget, I will put up the capital things I will do, because this rolling plan has to do more with capital, not the recurrent, because recurrent is as like given. You must do that, you must pay salaries, you must run your offices and the rest of them all. But for about capital expenditure, today, most budgets in Nigeria are implemented about 25%, 30%, 40%, even by state governments, which is an anathema. When I was here, I won a prize in a needs assessment. In fact, I had an A in the summation classification, because I implemented my budget for 2 years running 100%, simplicity. In fact, at one particular year, I had to do a supplementary budget to carry on with the next year's work plan or rolling plan. But today, most people don't know about that. I give you contract, I go to see your road contract. I measure what you're doing. I give you water supply, I come and look at your tank. I look at the bill of quantity. Are you conforming before you take away our money? The money we gave you, are we getting value for money? In most of my sites, you will see Anambra people's money at work. And you must work to end.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Femi Additional has the next question.
Thank you. Section 308 of our Constitution has raised a lot of dust. It prescribes immunity for those who hold executive positions. What would you recommend? Should it be excised from the Constitution, or do we go ahead with it? Let's start with the APGA candidate.
No, a candidate of Labour.
Labour, okay.
Yes.
Well, I don't support immunity for people in governance, because it creates room for people to relax and start committing sins. What we want to do is, my vision is how we can promote Anambra State, and I want to go into developmental conception of our governance. Our business is to see how we can promote power, education, trade promotion through industrial revolution, and as well, very important, tapping into our brothers in diaspora for food developmental optimization of our state. These things that can harness good governance in Anambra State. For me, going back to your question, I don't think we should give immunity to serving governors. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Candidate of PPA.
Yeah. I do not support any form of immunity for the position of governors. That will give us, sort of a chance to make sure that the people that are coming up to rule are people who are sure of themselves. If you know you don't want to be chased when you're out of the office, do the right thing from onset. But if a lot of our ex-governors and people that are even coming on now, they have their intentions, they know what they want to do. Some haven't they don't exactly know what they are coming to do. So when they get there, they will meddle with everything. They make mistakes, they mismanage, they misappropriate, they do a lot of other things. When they have done that, they are, okay, I am protected. Nothing will ever happen to me because I have immunity. That should be taken out of, that should not happen at all. I believe whoever that have done this in the past did not do it with good intention. I'm not attacking any particular person. The people that did the Constitution, I'm sorry, they've done a good job, but they shouldn't have done this in the first place. There are certain areas that need to be touched there about somebody leaving a position, going for the other one, without resigning the other one. That is the way it is done out there. If we are learning, we must learn good. We wouldn't learn anything that would just profit us. The ones that wouldn't profit us, we drop it off on the ground. This is not the way a nation that wants to progress do things. A nation that wants to progress will always try to be fair to Dick, Tom, and Harry, no matter where they are coming from. If you didn't do well when you are in the state, well, when you're out there, you face the law, you face whatever you've done, and account for it. Then it will discourage somebody else coming on tomorrow. Say, oh, something happened to Mr. A after coming down from the position. I don't want to go through the same route. He or she will do the right thing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Candidate of APC.
Mr. Moderator, my audience, experience is the best teacher. I was a part of the Senior Committee on Review of the Constitution, and we came to Anambra State. Anambra people voted overwhelmingly for the retention of that clause in Section 308, for immunity for Chief Executive of States and their deputy, and immunity for President and Vice President. They learned a lesson. When I was governor here, their governor was to be pulled out by force by the federal authorities. At a point, they took me to court in Enugu, saying I wasn't governor anymore. So if I didn't have immunity, they would have said I stood a good somewhere and jailed me. That is what Anambra people remembered, and they voted that they wanted it retained in the Constitution. In fact, most states voted for that. So I'm not talking about that today because I was governor or I want to come back, but we can do the right thing. We are not ripe to leave our chief executive officers at the whim and caprices of their political enemies. I am for the retention, and mark you, the immunity is not perpetual. When you leave office, you will be prosecuted for offenses committed when they are criminal. A lot of governors have been tried and sent to EFCC. Some have been convicted. So, for me, let us leave it as our democracy matures, as we evolve in our democracy. At one point, we will not need it. Everybody will have been civilized. But if people go and give you kerosene today, give you rice, give you money, give you that, it's temptation. If you vote for them, they want to recoup their money. They want to recoup the money of the kerosene, the money of the bread, the money of the rice. Therefore, the populace,
Candidate of APC, please, I'll stop you there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Candidate of APGA.
Thank you very much. I would like to, I'd like to criticize from an informed position. I don't have any informed position on this. So I will not be able to criticize that as we speak. But what is important is we should ensure that our the processes of selecting who will lead the state is a tested process. A situation where people with no education are contesting for gubernatorial election.
Please,
it's part of it.
Please.
A situation.
I will stop you if you continue along that line.
Okay. A situation where people with questionable character are allowed to run is also part of the deal. Because if you allow them to come into office, they will mess you up. You need tested people, people with proven integrity. Where did they work all their life? What did they achieve? These are key questions you should ask. Not who brought rice or who brought kerosene or who... You
are proceeding along the wrong path.
No, but it's important to mention this fact that what is important in our state is...
address the issue.
To
address the issue of immunity.
Is to ask for the background.
Immunity.
The immunity I have said, I don't have information. I don't know why the people that put it. So I don't have information on that. So I don't want to criticize it.
Thank you. Thank you. Nancy? No. Okay. Candidate of Labour Party, please. The issue is that of immunity.
Like I said earlier on, we don't need people, we don't need immunity. I've answered it before. I said that immunity,
I think we started with you.
Immunity is
we started
not good
with you, Labour
for
Party.
serving governors because they have something they are hiding. That's the most important thing. If you understand that
we started with you before, please.
We
started with you. You have answered the question. Nancy, you have the next question.
Okay, I think the next question should be to the APC candidates, isn't
No,
it?
to the PPA.
PPA, okay. Let's take the question of corruption, because we can't talk about most Nigerians on a daily basis. When you hear their rhetoric, you get to hear about corruption. Our leaders are corrupt. A lot of our government officials are corrupt. Of course, you read newspapers every day. You get to hear one fraud case or the other. If you get into the government house, of course, if elected, how do you intend, of course, to tackle the menace to save Anambra State, of course, from unnecessary loss of income as well as unwarranted expenditure?
Thank you, moderator. If I become the governor of Anambra State, first of all, I will hold a sort of town hall meeting with the civil servants, and then organize seminars also and conferences where I will start teaching them, I will start showing them what they are supposed to do. Property that belongs to the government belongs to somebody. It belongs to all of us together. It belongs to the yet unborn children of Anambra State. And therefore, nobody can mess up with it in any form. If I will succeed, if I succeed in reorientating and getting their values right, they will now acknowledge, they will now know that they are supposed to live a life that will make whatever that belongs to government to remain. They will know that they will have to give their services for which they are paid to the people free of charge, not to keep them waiting in the offices. I will also introduce there are certain measures I will introduce in offices. This question of people maybe jumping queues, they're all about corruption. People will have to take their turn, do things right. But before they do that, something must have to be done before they could start from that. It's the training you've given them. It is the workshop that you've organized to explain to them why certain things shouldn't happen. Corruption is a cankerworm that has eaten deep into our system. And everybody, all of us talk about it, but nobody actually has preferred solution. I have solution, I am telling you.
What's the solution? How will it start with you?
Me?
You, yes.
Great. I will, as a governor of Anambra State, all the contracts, all the job I will give away will have to follow due process. It is not going to be awarded to a company that belongs to me or where I have a stake. Neither will it go to a friend of mine. But I will follow due process, do the right thing. There will be the contract. People will put in their quotation. We consider the quotation based on their merit and see how it will go. We'll take the content of the quotation and see how it will go to sort our problem. It's not returning 10% for me. I don't have any need for 10%. If it's making money that is my reason for coming here, I wouldn't be here today, Anambrans. I am not wealthy, but the little I have, I am a contented man. It's a value I hold from childhood. The little I have is enough and more than enough for me. And I believe it will attract a form of punishment for me from God if I should mess up with 1 naira that doesn't come to me legally as a governor of Anambra State. That is the way I will stop. Truth and nothing but the truth is the first thing to
Thank
do.
you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
APC.
Well, corruption is a very serious socioeconomic malaise or condition that has plagued the country and has stunted development here. Corruption is anything that does not come in the form it's supposed to come, not in the pure form. That is the definition of the word corruption. Therefore, it has come to Nigeria, it has festered, and it has affected all facets of our daily lives. Talk in terms, for example, like my friend said, procurement of goods and services. You suffer from contract inflation, over-invoicing, invoices that are paid for without the goods delivered. So I realized it early when I came here. I'm sorry I have to be referring to what I did before. I established the second due process office in Nigeria after the federal government. And that office is, I don't know, I hear it's abrogated here now, but the essence was for goods to be priced properly, for services to be priced properly, for contracts to be looked at, and to make sure that the goods are delivered to the people who are paying for it, because it's not Chris He gets money. In fact, because of that establishment, it was one of the reasons that during the needs assessment, Anambra State came 8th in the National Planning Assessment of States in the Federation because of our needs office and because of our due process office. Due process actually is financial regulation. That's what it is. I don't know how many of them know about financial regulation of the civil service, but that is what it is. So if you put that office and check goods and services that are delivered to you, you will have stemmed corruption a little in terms of material resources. How about human activities, employment, promotions? You have to show by example.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Candidate of APGA.
Our administration will have 0 tolerance for corruption. 0 tolerance. And how we're going to do it is that I'll lead by example. Standard world-class companies that have done well in stemming corruption have full, well-documented procedures as to how things should be done, who should do what. And when everybody is on the same page as to how things should be done, it eliminates a lot of corruption tendencies, you know. So what is important is there will be procedure, take for example contracts, there will be documented procedure as to how it will be done. So up front, everybody knows how it will be done. It will not be done in my office alone, with only one fellow knowing or two people. It will be done in the structure that has been laid out. Secondly, one of the things that kill corruption is, you know, to react promptly, show example. If somebody fails on that procedure, what do? You let other people know that somebody has violated the procedure. If you do that one or two times, everybody will sit up. They will know that, that this guy is up in arms against this malaise.
For example, if any of your commissioner, let's put it for example, any of your officials is alleged of corruption, would you fire such person? On
the spot, after listening to the point. You know, one thing that you should know that is rampant here is rumor. If it's established that the commissioner in question had a challenge, I'll fire the guy. But it has to be established. It has to be established. You know, based on when somebody calls you, you know, and therefore, there's an internal audit department. This is an area I've been an expert at world-class area to be able to ensure that this is in place. We are going to have an internal audit team in what we are doing, making sure that back-to-back we are checking what is going on, and any oversight functions that are abused are reported, and if established, they are actually fired.
Thank you. Candidates of the Labour Party, please.
The first thing to fight corruption in our system is, first, is total independence of our judiciary. That is number one. Number two is promotion of administration of criminal justice. We must promote it and then make it public. Get people, Anambrans, to voice out. Have a parliament, people's parliament, where people can come and say, no, this man has done, even if it's rumor, we will look at it and establish a fact from it. Third is submit. I don't talk from non-existing, established facts. The first thing I need to say here is, we are talking about Anambra State, sir. And it's very important for you to know, very instructive to know that we don't have audited account of Anambra State as of 2011, 2012, established. So we don't have it. And then if we don't have it, I don't even know where we are going into. We are in November. Now, going into 2013 November. And Anambra doesn't have 2011, 2012 audited account. What are we talking about continuity? If we don't have that, that's what Anambra people need to know. Then we can take it from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Audience, please. Audience. Saben Igbuna, you have the next question.
Thank you. Let's go spotted now. Anambra State used to be a state where we have good aspiring athletes. I don't know about today. So can you explain your policy direction for sports and the funding strategy?
Candidate of APC.
Yeah, we have to do sports. Sports will help you have good health. That is what I realized when I came here too. And I started off a 30,000 capacity stadium at Awka in 2005. Before I left in 2006, this stadium was to contain gymnasium, swimming pools, and all sorts of indoor games apartment. But today, it has been stopped since March 17 when I left here. And I intend that if Anambra people ask me to come back, to put up that stadium for them. Anambra is the home of Dan Anyam, the footballing, Emmanuel Okala, Unyamuna, Johnny Ebonu. Anambra has no football team. I will put up one and give it a name, even if it's Anambra Tigers. They will go and tiger people for me in football. And from tigering other people in the division leagues here, we shall go continental and, if possible, world class. Anambra needs much of sporting things to develop our place, especially Awka here. Awka is a national disgrace as a state capital. It's a glorified village, and they call it a state capital. I tried to do what I could do at the time I came here. I put up that stadium. I put up a golf course as you get up to Amobi on the right side of the road there. That golf course has been abandoned for reasons I don't know. Anambra needs to develop Awka to have even playgrounds inside the place. Develop schools to have playground. Most of the schools here don't have playgrounds. How do you catch them young? There is no good competition in Anambra State for sports.
Thank you.
We need to do something about it.
Thank you. Candidate of APGA.
Well, like I said in the opening remarks, sports is key in our youth development. In sports, we start with infrastructure. This administration has done well establishing 5 stadia, regressing other football pitches in the secondary schools and primary schools. What is important here is we would like sports to start off the way we all know how it started. Primary, secondary school, and university competition. The only way they can do that is first they have the facilities. And that's one of the first things I'm going to do. Ensure that there are good fields, even if they're not stadium, properly grassed that people can play football in. I have other sports in mind, but for purposes of this timing, I'll use football. So that people, there'll be competition. There'll be a vote to the primary and secondary school and even the universities to do competition in the schools. From there, talents can be harnessed and used. Thank you.
Candidate of the Labour Party.
I know, sir, all these things have been said are not part of the continuity because it's not in existence. But the most important thing I want to say today, I came to this venue from a football field where I was playing football with J.J. Okocha, Kanu Nwankwo, Taribo West, Austin Egwuavo, Samson Siasia. In fact, they will be here before we end this session. So I'm just coming from a football pitch. I have a stadium in my mini stadium in my house where we exercise, and then youth from my state comes in every morning. We exercise. You cannot give things you don't have. It's not part of the continuity. There's no stadium in Awka. There is no elite football club in Anambra State. There is no support. Gabros Football Club, Udoji United, so many of them has passed through this state. Nobody has been supported by the government. And can you give what you don't have? So we must say what we can do. Ifeanyi is the youth soccer ambassador in Nigeria. It's an official status that I earned from Nigerian Football Federation. And if I become the government, I will promote sports. I will look at the prototype of Delta State to compete with Deltans.
Thank you. PPA candidate.
Thank you very much. I am Anambrarians. What I will do as passports in this state is part of my education. I said I will introduce a curriculum called sports back in our school so that we can catch our talents young from primary school to secondary school. That is exactly what it used to be, and the augured well and things work better for us. I will go back to that so that every child will have opportunity of getting whatever talent he has, exposing it, showing it up and growing up to somebody from there. It's not only when they are grown up, they start building stadium. When I start from the primary school, then there is opportunity for every child, even if he or she doesn't know how to read and write. She can jump, she can run, she can play soccer, she can do a lot of things. Right before now, I've been doing this type of, I've been encouraging my people.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. At this point in time, as we are winding down this debate, we will be asking a number of follow-up questions on some of the issues that we have touched on before. Nancy, you have the first follow-up question.
Okay, I think this follow-up should go for the candidate of the PPA.
Yeah.
In your opening statement, or when you were talking more earlier, you talked about being in the UK. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. And the Constitution, of course, of the Federal Republic, I think 1999. Okay, let me just go straight to the point. Do you have dual citizenship?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You also talked about the rule of law and when we're talking about corruption. Is there anything attached to you that perhaps happened in the UK that Anambarians need to know? Why I'm asking this question is because there have been reports, of course, in the media, which I have read, and I know you are not, you can't be ignorant of that fact. But Anambarians need to be clear about the issue that I'm talking about. Is it true or is it false?
Which, can you be precise, please?
Okay, the issue is, let me just quickly.
It is the fact that the reports say that you were convicted in the UK for the export of electronic waste.
Thank you
into
very much.
Nigeria,
Yes, into Nigeria
Ghana,
and Pakistan.
Thank you very much. I am a freight forwarder by profession. I started being a freight forwarder from here in 1986. And I went to UK in 1993. I became a freight forwarder again. From 1996 till date, I'm still a freight forwarder. My company name is Orient Export Limited. I am a director of Orient Export Limited. Orient Export Limited is a freight forwarder. If you invite Orient Export Limited to ship a cargo for you, if you are in Birmingham, if you are in Dorset, wherever you are, we'll place a container for you to load. If you load your container, it will go straight to the port. The customs will clear it before it sails out of the UK. My office is in Tilbury, and I don't go to the points where we don't go to the points where they do the unloading. So now, one of our clients, they shipped the normal Tokumbo. You know what is Tokumbo? Use television, use the computer monitors, use kettles. And they said it's a waste. And then, for the fact that I'm a director of Orient Export, that is why my name come in. It is what they call it strict liability. Not because Godwin Ezemo is involved. Orient Export is a limited liability company. It's a legal person before the law. If they have a problem, they have a problem, and not Godwin Ezemo. And I will tell you this. I am here, and I am sound, and I have everything, and I work my way everywhere. I do not have no problem.
We needed to clear that because it's been in the media, and Anambarians need a clarification.
That is what I have cleared. I am
All right,
not.
thank you. Thank you very much.
There's nothing like that. Okay.
Mr. Femi Additional, do you have any follow-up question to any of the candidates? Very quickly.
Well, to the APGA candidate, you have talked about continuity. In talking about continuity, does it then mean that you endorse everything that the current government has done 100%? There's nothing you're going to change or discontinue?
Thank you very much. When we talk about continuity, we are talking about continuity with respect to the great things that he has done in education, in health, in security, in infrastructure that is all over the place. He has actually laid the foundation. There are so many of them. He has actually laid the foundation for this state to go to the next level. And that's why I'm running. I'm running purely because there's a platform. That platform has been very well energized by this administration. Friends and foe has commended this administration for those enablements that he has done. And I am associating with that development. He has done great work, and it's there for people to see. Roads, infrastructure, health, just go out there and see for yourself. In all the local governments, no local government is of any exception. Unlike the people that came in the past, that restricted their development to a very little place so that they can become governor of their little communities.
What do you think you will then be your own man?
Yes, of course, I'm somebody that is a chartered accountant of repute, somebody that is a world-class auditor for Texaco Nigeria, auditing refineries all over the world, somebody that is an executive director of a world-class bank and number 2 man for 9 years. That guy cannot be a stooge.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we are winding down now. You record that I told you that we will have 2 minutes each for your closing statements. 2 minutes each for your closing statements. And we will start in reverse order. We started from here. We're now going to start from here. PPA candidates.
Anambrarians, once again, I am here tonight to present myself willingly. Nobody prompted me to come here. Nobody ever prompted me to come and run for this. But the love I have for you is exactly what made me to come here today. I stand out and said within myself and my immediate family that I will lose my fortune. I will lose my pleasure. I will lose my comfort. I will lose virtually everything I have. I have lost them. I live in Anambra. I've lived here for the last 4 years in a village in Anambra State, not in Lagos, not in Abuja, just to be able to be in a position to ascertain more what our problems are. I've been able to find out what our problems are. And I've been able to make some inroad as to what I need to do to get things right. And this, I am sure I will follow. What I've learned, what I've seen, my contact out there will help me to be able to give you service of love. Love that asks no question. Love that will remain undaunted. Even if I am going to lose my hair for your sake, I don't care. I will do it for you because you people need to be cared. You've been marginalized. Nothing is working here. I promise you, if you vote for me, a vote for me is you've secured your future for our children, for our children's children, and for posterity. And I will tell you, do not make no mistake. Do not be enticed by 100,000 naira or a bag of rice or whatever they've given you. They've done that for the last 22 years and nothing has happened.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Candidate of Labour Party.
Well, in Anambra, all has been said about Ifeanyi. Not one has been proved. But in life, you have to accept criticism. The problem Ifeanyi Ubah have is because Ifeanyi Ubah has taken myself out there to come and see how we can rescue Ndibanye. I am a very contented human being. I have shown love to Anambra more than anybody here. From nothing, I am the son of a teacher. I grew from the grassroots. I know how you are feeling. This is a man who is a fighter of the oppressed, a friend of the poor and the downtrodden, a sympathizer of the youth, a rescuer of the pride of the widows, and a real man. This is the man you want. And by the grace of God, I have not disappointed anyone, and I will not disappoint you.
Thank you very much. Candidate of APGA.
Well, Ndibanye, what is at stake is a very serious issue. Anyị na-achịrọta onye ga-achị obodo anyị. Obodo anyị bụ Anambra State. Obodo anyị abụrụ obodo ọzọ. Unu ma onye ife Anambra bụ. Ọ bụrụ onye ebe onye na-ejere akwụkwọ ga-achị, no preparation. Ọ bụrụ ebe onye na-enwere integrity ga-achị. Ọ bụkwuru ebe ndị na-amara ọlụfa ga-anọ. Unu need very well-tested people. Anyị need ya to move the progress of our people. I need to move the progress of our people. Even now you know, bo. Nen mayananya. Agma.
Please allow him to speak.
Nen mayananya. Agma lulu nolu with the fear of God. Ezioku bondo. Jene nene ben lo before. Juan on the munafana alwebe fasi weputa. Kedi febabo. Mandi ge MSC Vivandi FCC gavanwolo fa jusi eba. Bikono, if I did help, let's salvage our country, our state. Let's salvage our state. We are doing this for the future of our children. Bikunegu kwanegu, onye nyu nego, unubutie na basini no jebego, tie ni anaba. Mbosi ya unuvote APGA, okuku. Ebe unu getinye aka.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dalun.
Thank you. Thank you. Audience, please. Audience, please. Audience, please. Candidate of the APC. Please, do not distract the candidate of the APC. We are running out of time. Audience, please. Audience, please. Audience, please. Audience. Audience, please. Audience, please. Please. We are distracting the candidates. Please, candidates. We still have some. Please, please. Candidate of the APC, your closing statements. Candidate of APC, your closing statement.
Ndi Anambra, it's still me, Senator Chris Ngige. I have not changed. No metamorphosis at all. I can be onye onye atụnyelu ndụ ya dobie na 2003. Si kama ifunu ga-efu, si gbuo m egbue. Aka mbụ ife a mbụ. Aka love unu. Achọ nke unu jee akwụkwọ unu alitunye ego na ya na secondary school. The university students will revert back to the fee of 40,000 they were paying before I left. You will get quality health care for your women and for your children. I have not changed. I will not forsake you. I still love you. My love is even more increased because I have now the legislative component of government imbued in me now. Aga m achị unu, chia unu, ma ndị ọrụ oyibo, aga m enye unu promotion unu, kwa unu minimum wage with relativity. Chukwu ga-agọzi ndị Anambra. Anambra kwenu! Anambra kwenu! Lienu! Nwonu! Ụmụnụ ga-azụ niile o.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, please. Please, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. At this point in time, I wish to invite the chairman of NEDG, Taiwo Alimi, and Reverend Guinea Kanwa, MD, Anambra Broadcasting Service, to please step forward for the presentation of certificates to the candidates. Audience, please. The chairman of NEDG and the managing director ABS, Reverend Guinea Kanwa, and Taiwo Alimi, chairman NEDG, will do the presentation of certificates to the candidates.
Thank you very much. During this presentation, we want to see the Anambra that has culture. We want to see the Anambra that has respect for rules. And we want to see an Anambra that respect these whole rules. I want to commend the governorship candidates that have participated eloquently in this debate, which is the closing and the final for NEDG governorship and deputy governorship debates. We also want to commend all the moderators and the panelists and the timekeeper for the professional way they have handled these debates all week. We want to commend the production team that has allowed this to go throughout Nigeria and throughout the world. And we've been receiving in the last 40 minutes through the internet commendation for the debaters. We want to commend Z Mirage for the unique set design that Washington, D.C. has sent me an email yesterday that this is one of the best they are seeing in set design for debates in the whole world. We want to commend viewers, listeners throughout Anambra State, throughout the nation, and globally, and in this hall. And this week has been a great week in Awka, Anambra for successful debates by NEDG. Once again, I commend the candidates for this final debate by NEDG. God will continue to be with all of you.
All right, while the presentation of certificates to the candidate is ongoing, we want to sincerely appreciate DAR Communications PLC that has powered this debate. It has provided the global television signals. The FRCN has provided the radio signals nationally and internationally. We also want to appreciate the IRI, the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, USAID, the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, the NOA, and of course, the Anambra Broadcasting Service, which has been our host broadcasting station here in Awka in Anambra State. I want to also thank you, members of the audience, for finding time to come to join us in all these sessions, and we look forward to being with you again soon. Thank you very much.